Have you ever wanted to make big bucks while sleeping? Well, that may not be possible in real life, but you surely can simulate it in Hypixel Housing. Maybe you start with +1 gold a second, then upgrade it to +10 gold a second. Well, today, you're going to learn how to purchase income and make the poison level upgradable. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Now before you can use this basically unlimited money glitch, you need to actually set up your poison loop. Now according to Wikipedia, some side effects could include death, injury, but I'll just ignore all that. But using the short and sweet poison loops guide, which I'll link in the card up in the top right corner, make sure to follow that and you can get your poison loop set up because we'll be using the poison loop function. Now we will upgrade this later, basically update it because we will add an upgradable poison level, but for now just go in like player join and make sure you give the potion effect poison and duration. Now you're probably used to 3600 being the max, but that is not the max anymore. It's 2592000. That is the absolute max duration you can put on a potion. And then for level, I highly recommend starting at level 1. Do not start at level 2 because level 1 just makes sense. I'm gonna say this again, but don't add this to too many places just yet because we are gonna change the way this is given later on. And also go ahead and brainstorm and figure out what currency you are going to use. For example, gold, gems. But for this, I'm gonna be using coins as my regular currency and gems as the higher end currency. And finally go into your poison loop function just set up and increase coin increment percent stat dot player slash rev. Basically, stat dot player is saying it's a player stat, and then the rev is basically the stat's name. So I'm calling it rev, which is short for revenue, but you can also say inc, which is short for income. There's many more placeholders within the slash placeholders command, and you can view all of them pretty easily using the things. For some reason my lunar client is going really crazy thinking these are links, and they are not links. Now we have to set up our scoreboard and display our income. So what you want to go do is go to your scoreboard editor in house settings, then go to a custom line where you have your coins displayed, and for me, I'm doing N6, which is gold, which I have on the Hypixel forums a page which shows all the colors in a very easy to read image. So make sure to check that out if you want to see all the colors. But you're going to use a placeholder percent stat.player, which is a player stat, and then coin, well, / coin. And that will display all of your coins, which I currently have a lot of coins, which is why it shows it as a very, very high number. Then below it, we're going to put the revenue. So percent stat.player / rev percent. Then for your higher end currency, for me it's gems, do percent stat.player / gem. I usually put all mine as singular because if they're singular, it just makes the stat shorter, which is really, really good. You need to focus on keeping your stats short and sweet. And an alternative to displaying your revenue or income on the scoreboard is displaying it in your action bar at all times. Basically going into your poison loop function and always doing an action bar every single poison loop. Now we gotta move on to the income shop. But make sure to subscribe and join our Discord because I do post sneak peeks to many of our videos. So if you want to get tutorials early, join our Discord. So for this NPC, we're going to use a trick that you learned in our items guide, which is linked in the card above. You get a hologram after placing 2 blocks, just as so, then you place the NPC below it. Currently, due to renaming an NPC still using the Anvil UI, I highly recommend including the description. For example, increase revenue. And I'm going to add a skin real quick. Now you want to go up here and do like a name for your NPC. This one is going to be just Backstreet Dude. Then under it or above it, you want to put your price. Now for the price, you want to do percent stat.player / ink price percent. Now this is totally optional. You can just do a basic static price that stays the same at all times. It'll be a little bit easier to code, or if you want your game to float like that, it's totally optional. But I highly recommend adding a fluctuating price. It'll make the game more balanced in the long run. So you want to open the NPC, add a conditional, and in conditions, you're going to add a player stat requirement, stat coin greater than or equal to percent stat.player/ink price percent. And this is the exact reason you want to make your stat as short as possible. Now you want to go to the if actions of this conditional, and you want to change player stat ink price increment 50. Now this is how much it increments every single time they purchase it. For me, I'm choosing 50. Then you want to change stat coin decrement percent stat.player/ink price. This basically takes away however much coins it cost. And then you want to do rev, which is the revenue increment 1. Now up here, I already have a default price. What you want to do is go to event actions, player join. If player joined is equal to 0, then it's going to change that ink price set 100, which is the starting price for me. And then you want to set player joined set 1. This will make it so once they join, it'll set the price to 100, but if they already joined before, it won't just set it to 100 each time, and it'll get rid of that loophole. So now that you set it up, make sure it works, and if you have enough coins, and it increments for me. And every single time, it increments by 50 the price. To make it more friendly, you want to go to the else actions, and you want to send a chat message and C and L not enough coins. Just to show the player they don't have enough coins and they need to go out and grab coins. Just as an extra detail, I made coins bold and a different color. Now, you can purchase income. It'll increment by income every single second if you're in survival and have poison. But how do you purchase poison upgrade? So let's go ahead and dive right into that. Now for purchasing income, I already set up an NPC. It's already set up using the trick we did earlier, but the cost is static, so I included it on the bottom row. It's going to be 250 gems every single time for a tick speed upgrade. Now you want to add a conditional, and in conditions, you're going to do stat gem, or whatever your higher end currency is greater than or equal to 250. And then you want to make a new stat, tick SP, which stands for tick speed, but again, keeping stats short, is less than 5, which 5, I am making the max amount of poison level you can get. Poison level can indeed technically go up to 10, but I highly recommend either 4 or 5, because past 5, it does not become functional with stats, because stats can only increment so much every second, so due to housing limitations. Then go to if actions and do stat tick SP increment 1, and in else actions, do a chat message just like the other one. I did minus not enough coins or poison maxed out, because we do have a condition basically where tick SP is less than 5. And make sure match any condition is disabled. If it is enabled, it will break this whole entire thing. Now, you cannot, inside of poison loops, you cannot give poison. Like, you may think, why don't I just go to the poison loop, if tick SP equals 1, then give poison level 1, and override existing effects. But sadly, that will not work. So what we need to do is we need to create a command. I'm gonna do /tick SP. And also a note, you can indeed make an NPC for this as well, but a command can be accessed from anywhere. Now you want to add an action conditional, and if stat tick SP is equal to 5, then in if actions, it's going to give effect poison. And just as we talked about earlier, the max amount is 2592000, and you will just have to memorize this, and you will over time. You're going to do level 5 and override existing effects. Now we just added 1 if tick SP equals 5, but 5 is the absolute maximum we can do. So what you need to do is you need to add a conditional for every single other one. So if tick SP equals 4, if tick SP equals 3, etc, etc. And if it equals 4, then poison level is going to be 4. If it equals 3, then poison level is going to be 3. And that's basically the gist of /ticksp. And make sure you include use ticksp to upgrade. That way they know to use it to upgrade, and then also you can add an NPC, the exact same stuff as the command. And last but not least, we need to go to wherever we added, basically giving the poison effect at the beginning. We used to just give poison 1 at the beginning, but we need to change this. Instead of giving poison 1, we need to add a conditional for each one, just as we did in the command. If ticksp equals 5 or 4, we need to do it for all of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5 conditionals every single place you added to give ticksp equals 5, you get the point. Now this will take a bit if you gave it at the beginning in player respawn, player join, if they fished, but it's 100% worth it to add tick speed upgrades. And also as an idea, maybe make gems only receivable after a rebirth. Rebirths are pretty easy to add. You just basically, if you have much rank, it'll increase rebirth by 1. If they have rebirth 3, you can purchase tick speed upgrades. But anyway, I might as well end this video on a good note and say that I have some huge videos planned, so make sure to subscribe if you want to get notified when they release. Visiting viewers' houses part 2 will be releasing, so make sure to comment down below or join our Discord and enter it on our visiting viewers' houses part 2 channel. I'll be hosting my free build again in a part 2 video. And as I mentioned earlier, 2 big videos planned. And I'll be releasing more info on Aqua Tycoon in our Discord below. So I'll see you in the next video. Peace.